Have you ever wanted to connect your JobTread account to an AI model? Well, now you can with the DataX MCP server, which is the bridge between JobTread and any AI model. You can connect your JobTread account to ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini, any AI model that supports the MCP protocol. I'm going to show you how to connect it, and then I'm going to show some examples of how I'm using it at my construction company. Let's get started. So the first thing, we need to log into DataX, and you can see we've got our AI models up here at the front. But once you log in and go to your dashboard, you'll notice a new toolbar on the left side. It's called AI. You can see we have a lot of other things coming in the pipeline, but right now we're going to go to the MCP server, which MCP stands for Multi-Context Protocol. It's a language or a way of talking for the AI models to talk to other softwares. Not every model supports MCP, but most of them are starting to. Claude works the best because Anthropic, Claude's parent company, is the one who invented MCP. The other ones are slowly starting to adopt it, but they all will in some way. So you'll have to go and figure out how to connect MCP or maybe change your workflow a little bit. So we're gonna go into MCP server and you'll see this is our URL and this is what we copy into our AI models to connect to the MCP server. So we're just going to copy that. And the instructions are pretty simple. We're going to copy the MCP URL and we're going to paste it into our AI tool connection settings. And then you just talk to AI like you already know how to do. Then we have this prompt library to give you some examples to start as like a jumping off point. And we'll come back to that in a minute. But let's go. Let's start with OpenAI, ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is new to allowing MCP protocol. So what we need to do is go into the settings, go into apps, and we're gonna have to go into advanced settings. We're gonna have to turn on developer mode because MCP connections are still relatively new for OpenAI. So we need to turn on developer mode to allow this. Once you do that, you're gonna create an app, name it something like DataX, description if you want to, you don't have to. And then the MCP server URL goes right here. Since I already have one connected, we'll do a number 2. Leave this on OAuth, and this will all populate later. Just click you understand, create. Then it's going to take you to a DataX login page, and you can see we're connecting ChatGPT to your DataX account. You log in, and it'll send you back, and you see it's connected here. So one of the issues with OpenAI allowing MCP servers right now is that when you're in developer mode, memory is disabled. So what you want to do is when you go and hear DataX, you can turn on memories in chat. So now it can reference your past memories when by default that's turned off, just in developer mode just to be safe. As long as you trust DataX and trust what we do, turn that on and it helps ChatGPT reference all of your past memories to help when it's using the DataX. And if you go down, you can see all the actions. We call them tools, but ChatGPT calls them actions, and you can read through all of these here. And it just shows you what it's doing. Create jobs, create budgets, create customers, look up information, stuff like that. And so now that it's connected, what you want to do is you want to go in here. You see it's right here, so we're using it. So you can say use. I'm specifically saying to use the DataX connection because we haven't used it yet. So I'm just letting it know this is what we do. And I'm also specifying JobTread just so it understands that the DataX connection corresponds with JobTread. So as I keep using the DataX tool inside of ChatGPT, it will understand anytime I talk about JobTread, let's look at the DataX tools and see if we can pull relevant information from your JobTread account. But like I said, this is the first chat I'm using this tool in, so I'm just giving it a bunch of context. This is only going to be as good as you instruct it. Yes, AI is very capable, but it acts like a 3-year-old. So you have to give it a lot of context to do something. So I'm saying, look at the DataX connection, look at my active jobs in JobTread, give me what's going well and what is possibly a red flag. Let's look at each job individually and as a whole company. So when you use DataX MCP Server to connect to your JobTread for the first time, It's going to do some tool calls here. So it's going to show you the tools so it's looking at JobTread, get active jobs, get job details, and it's giving you the input and the output. So you can see all the stuff that it's doing. And if this is your first time using one of the tools, it's going to ask you for permission. So it'll say what the tool is and maybe a brief description, and you say allow or decline or deny. Because maybe you don't want it to look at time entries or you don't want it to do something. But once you deny it, it's not going to be able to use it again until you go back into your settings and maybe turn it back on. But that gives you a way of staying safe and making it feel comfortable for you, allowing it to access the data that only you want it to access. So if we look, we've got 6 active jobs. Good sign, your schedule tracking is strong. Pay phases are built into schedules. Major jobs have a sign. Heavy concentration on one job. Some active jobs show no scheduling. These are new jobs, and this is an office job, so that's expected. So I could go further and tell the AI, hey, the office job is just that. It's an office job. We just store stuff. This warranty job doesn't start for a while. This deck just got approved yesterday. You know, it could look at some of that stuff. And then it's going to go job by job, what's going well. It's pretty cool stuff. Gross deck very early. Site visits the only task, of course. And it's giving you some recommendations. Now we're into the company observations, which is pretty cool. If you like, I can also show you which job is most likely to run over budget, which job is most likely to delay, your estimated revenue pipeline for active jobs, what is a perfect JobTread workflow your company should look for. So this is just one example, and we connected ChatGPT and did a basic example of looking at active jobs, looking for red flags. Now let's go to Claude. So Anthropic, which is the company that created Claude, is the one that also created MCP. So they have a little bit more, their models just understand the MCP protocol a little bit better. So how we do this here, we're going to go in the settings. They call it connectors. And you can see I have mine here, but we're going to add a custom connector, give it a name, paste that URL, and hit add. And it's going to, again, take you to the DataX sign up page, and it'll say we're connecting Claude to your DataX account. Log in, it kicks you back here. You can go to configure. Here you can see all your tools, and you can say allow, needs approval, or block. You can do whatever you want with each of these. This allows you to know what the AI is doing and keeps it safe. If you want to uninstall, it's right there. So now what we do, we can go to a new chat, make sure it's enabled here so we can turn it on and off if we want to. And we can say, oh, this one's cool to say, look at the Woodmont job, JobTread, DataX connection. Again, we're just being specific. If this is your first time using it, we're just being specific. I'm actually going to change my model to Opus. It just thinks longer and it's a little bit smarter. But it does work on all the models. Look at the Woodmont job and build me a material tracking app. We'll just build a small app for our material and selections tracking app. Okay, so same thing as ChatGPT. As it's calling tools, we'll see the tool calls down here. It's looking, and it's actually, because it asked it to build an app, it's looking at design skills and some coding tools. We're going to search for JobTread jobs. It's going to look in the budget. It's going to find all the materials and all the selection, cost items, pull it out, and create a little app that we can use here inside of Claude. So this is a more advanced request to the AI model. So it's going to take some time. It's thinking about it. It's going to use up a lot of tokens. The more complicated your requests are, or the bigger your jobs are. Like this Woodmont job is pretty big, has maybe 500 or 600 line items in the budget. So it has to read through all of that, and every character that it reads eats up your context window. So you have to be very careful and efficient on how you're prompting and asking the AI to do stuff. Okay, it's done. Let me run you through it. So first it pulled a bunch of context, blah, blah, blah. Use tools, get cost codes, cost type units, search for jobs, get the budget. So it got all the information it needed to first. Then here's what it did. Created the customer, You can see create customer, create job. And then it said I'm gonna show you, I see how you like scope of work, then area, then labor materials. Let's do it. Batch, general conditions, demo, drywall, framing, electrical, heated floor, painting. And it says, okay, bathroom remodel. Here's the summary. Here's your budget. Here's your price. Here's your margin. Here's what I did everywhere. Let's go look at it. So if I log in my JobTread, I see it right here. So Sally Mae used a random address because I didn't give her one. But then you can see the bathroom remodel is created. Full bathroom remodel, gut to studs, room, height, shower. So cool. Go to the budget. We got our general conditions. That looks sick. With my pre-construction, project management, communication admin, cost items, my job care, set containment, dumpster. And then I've got my scope of work, which is in labor and materials, which is exactly how I want it. That is awesome. Oh, that's so cool. And it's using all my existing. Okay, so here's framing. So here's what it pulled out. I don't know if we'll actually need those studs. We're not reframing anything. But so you're gonna have to go through here and edit it, make it what you need to, but this is so cool. I do this every day, but this is the first video I made of it, and it just works so well, and I'm excited to share it with you. But okay, and that all happened inside Claude. So now here's the super exciting part. You connect it on your desktop. Once you connect it on your desktop, it works on your mobile. So I can open up Claude Mobile, and I can go to my connectors, and you can see it right there. DataX is on my phone. And so I can even see the Sally Mae bathroom on my phone. And so I can ask it to edit it and do extra stuff and change it or add stuff, add a change order, or start invoicing straight from my phone. And so now I hooked it up on the desktop, and now it works on my phone, and I can take this into the field on estimates, job walkthroughs, quality checks. Hey, look at the Sally Mae job. What did we say about the heated tile floor? Did she approve it or not? What tile, what color? Run me through the color selections again and where the color locations are. All from your phone. Okay, another way you could do this, I know I talked through everything. Another extra piece, you could add your blueprints or floor plans. So let's say you're using like Polycam and you go and scan something. So I scan this house and I've got this layout. I can switch it to my 3D floor plan. I can download it as a PDF or PNG. Images honestly work better. I think the AI models read images better than PDFs. You can do either. Download it as a PNG, and then you could upload it. Let's see what it looks like. Ta-da! You can say, hey, based on this floor plan, write scope of work for XYZ. And it would do essentially the same thing that we just saw, but it's an extra layer of context and resource you can add to the AI to give you better results. So that's another thing you can do on top of what we just did. Hope this helps. This is just scratching the surface. I hope you let your mind run wild and think of some crazy things, and I hope it helps you and your business become more efficient. I hope this is helpful. I appreciate you guys. Reach out if you have questions, and we'll see you on the next one.